Treviso, one of the finest cities in Antiva, now living under occupation. I've arranged for one of my friends to meet us.
You made it. I hear you go by Rook these days.
It's good to see you. Meet Andara Thea of House Kentori.
No need to be formal with friends. Thea, please. Come. Viago is gathering the others. He's happy you're home.
I doubt that.
Trust me, he complains more when you're not around.
My friend says come with us.
All right. I'm not trying to cause any trouble.
How long have the Entente soldiers been here?
We have suffered their company for too long. The Antam reached a stalemate in their war with Tevinter. Some turned here instead. Antiva was rich, comfortable, and has no standing army to stop them.
I hate seeing Treviso ground down.
This occupation will not last. The Antivan crows remain. And one day, I will see a knife through every would-be tyrant's throat. We have arrived.
Wow, this is not what I expected.
The Kentori Diamond.
Did you finish that contract? To stop the Dreadwolf?
Hello, Viago, and it's complicated.
How many times do I have to tell you? Crows always finish the job.
We just can't take initiative, right? My run-in with the Antam taught me that.
Don't let him scold you too much. V was worried about you.
Rook, this is Catarina de la Morte.
The first Talon. I'm honored. Which makes you...
Ilario de la Morte, her grandson. What brings you here?
Right. My target is a pair of elven gods, or that's what they call themselves. They're ancient, blooded mages. I need our best. The man who brought blood mages in Venatori to their knees.
Lucanis. My grandson. They called him the Demon of Virantium. He was the one who did those jobs.
Exactly who we're after.
Except Lucanis de la Morte is dead. He was killed a year ago.
What I say doesn't leave this room. The body our people brought back was not my grandson. It was dressed in his clothing, but it had been altered with blood magic to have his face.
My cousin is still alive? And you didn't think to tell me?
His ship was attacked. We knew someone sold him out. So you kept your suspicions to yourself.
But you've brought it up now. Why?
I've had eyes on the Venatori ever since they took my grandson from me. They were hunting your dread wolf. And what you did to his ritual threw them into disarray. They made mistakes, and now I have a location. The Ossuary, where the demon of Virantium is kept. Find this Ossuary. Free Lucanis. You'll have your god killer. And I'll have my grandson.
Come. Katarina arranged the boat. One of our mages will meet us there.
A boat?
Did you think the Venatori would keep a normal prison? Or that one could hold the demon of Byzantium? The ossuary lies beneath the sea. A fact I learned mere minutes ago.
But the enchantments required must be immense.
You're not happy Katarina kept this from you.
Would you be? Lucanus is family. Maybe she thought I'd act too rash if it meant saving him. And now, who can say if he's even still alive?
Are you coming with us?
It's possible we've been watched. If all of us vanish from the dock, you play the alluring hero. I know Treviso. If we have a tail, I have a better chance of distracting their interest.
So how do we get in?
You'll see.
Someone or something already took down the guards.
Let's hope we don't run into whatever did that. Do we think Lucanus is still alive? I guess there's one way to find out.
Look! So this is the ossuary. This doesn't look like any prison I've seen. Ugh. Well, we're not going that way.
This place looks elven. I bet it's been underwater since the gods were imprisoned, at least.
I can't believe all this is underwater. If the enchantments containing this place ever failed...
They shouldn't, but they might. On top of that, we're looking for a killer. Another one, I mean.
Assassin. Murderers don't usually get paid.
It's a magical barricade. Whatever's inside, the Venatori really didn't want it getting out.
Then we break through. We don't have to fight. We're just here for the Conestella Morte. Get ready.
Rising hail, dragon of mystery. Lucican, dragon of night. In your fateful call.
I'm guessing you're the reason we're here.
Who are you? Who sent you?
My name's Rook, House de Riva. I'm here to bring you home.
House de Riva. You're a crow.
And you're possessed by a demon.
It's complicated.
Katarina promised us a mage killer if we broke you out of here.
I can still work.
Good, because I'm pretty sure more Venatori are on their way. We have to get moving.
They have a vial of my blood. They can use it to control me. I cannot leave it in their hands. And I had a contract when I was captured. One of my targets is here, Caliban. You know what that means. Crows don't break contracts.
All right, we'll help. But in return, I want help killing some things.
I'll owe you.
I'm sure we'll owe each other before this is all over. Let's go. So, first order of business?
Blood first, then my target, Caliban, the prison warden.
Where do we find them?
In the tower, there's a bridge.
Not anymore. We'll have to find another way across.
So where would they keep it? The blood, I mean.
Caliban keeps it under guard. Blood is the only thing that can bind a demon. If they lose it,
Then it's chaos. Wait, were they torturing demons? How? Why?
they didn't all start out as demons. Zara made sure they ended up that way.
Zara?
Zara Renata. There might be a higher-ranking Venatori somewhere, but I don't know of one. This place is all her.
Undead! Well, dead bodies animated by spirits, technically.
Zara Renata's work. This place exists for her to make new, worse kinds of demons.
So, the blood vial the Venatori took?
It's for blood magic, to control me, and the demon. Until it's gone, I cannot touch Caliban.
Now what do we do?
What are you? Fine. He says he can get us across.
Who is he?
The demon. He says there's something here. Something he can grab hold of in the Fade. It's close.
The demon pulled all of that from the Fade?
I'm as surprised as you.
Caliban, you said he's the one in charge?
No, he's a lackey. He runs this place for a powerful magister. He was my target a year ago. Now we both want him dead.
We meaning...
Demons don't forgive.
So what's the plan to find this thing? There's a lot of space to cover.
I know it's here. We can smell it.
The Venatori tortured these people. May you find peace.
Very few people survive Caliban's rehabilitation.
You did.
We need to get that barrier down. Find the crystals that power it. There. That's the one. It has to be. It's finally gone.
So now what?
Now we find Caliban.
So, Lucanus, your demon, feeling contained?
Mostly.
It's fine. We can talk about something else. What's Katerina like?
After so long in this pit, I barely remember.
Oh, this was entirely unnecessary. Zara and her little jests. He's already the demon of Virantium. Won't this be ironic? Hilarious. And now look at the mess you've made of my facility. She always leaves me to clean up.
So this is Caliban.
He is. The target I was sent for a year ago. A crow never abandons a contract. The crows send their regards.
So we got your target.
Yes. The job's done.
Smells like blood. Ashes. Not done, not yet.
So we can leave, right? Lucanus, right?
Careful.
They know we're not right.
You cannot see him. I wondered.
We clearly have things to discuss. Somewhere else.
Agreed. I think it's time I got some air. Shall we go?
I'm ready to get out of this place.
Imagine how I feel.
Maker.
Lucanis, what happened here?
A message from Zara Renata. I can't believe it. You're home.
Sarah? Her people got this close?
The woman who runs the prison?
The Venatori witch who captured me.
Revenge for the breakout, maybe?
Where's Katerina?
She's...
The Venatori got her in their confusion.
I get one of you back, only to lose the other.
Lucanis, I am so sorry.
I need to work.
Are you sure? You should take some time.
I don't need time. I need a target.
You just got here, and already you want to leave again?
Katerina gave me a contract. I'm not breaking the last deal she ever made. And I owe Rook. Once that's done, I'll come home.
I'll return him in one piece.
Thank you. Cousin, when you find Sarah, I need to be there.
We are under attack. Antam on one side and Venatori on the other. Forget revenge. We need you.
No, Viago. Sarah came for us here, in my house. She took Katerina from my house. You find her and cut her heart out, Lucanis. Vi and I will hold down the fort.
I'll give her your regards, Thea.
For Katerina.
The crows had lost a talon, but the demon of Virantium was free at last. Sooner or later, debts new and old would come due. And they would all be paid in blood.
They're the same thing. Mostly, kind of.
Except one will manipulate you, or kill you, or both.
But how do you get rid of them?
What's everyone talking about?
Spite.
The demon in Lucanus. When a person gets possessed, the demon usually takes control.
And they turn into a monster. The spirit just molds them however they want.
I've heard of abominations being cured by killing the demon in the Fade. That's not a sure bet, though.
Well, there's one way, but it's, well... We'd have to,
You'll have to kill me.
That can't be the only solution. Can't we reason with Spite, maybe? Persuade it to leave?
Talk doesn't work on Spite.
He doesn't want to hurt you. How rare. Everyone else does. I want to talk to him!
Before we do, well, let's think this through some more. There has to be a solution.
I have people in Marathus I can ask, but I wouldn't get my hopes up.
All right. So what next?
Let me talk to them! I want to talk to...
Lucanus!
Nope. It's fine. I'm fine.
What did he do that for?
Throwing a tantrum when he doesn't get his way?
But he could just take you over. Make you do what he wants.
It's, not great, but kind of good news, in a way.
He's done this before? Enough that you just shrug it off?
He'd do this in the ossuary. The Fate does whatever his spirit wants. Real walls and chains, not so much. Just give me a minute. He'll get bored once everyone leaves.
I don't like leaving you alone with the demon.
You don't have to worry about me.
Lucanus,
Please.
You asked for time. Is this long enough?
Yes, my head's clearer. Though I would kill for a decent cup of coffee.
Have you? For coffee, I mean.
Not today. You've got questions. You might as well ask them.
You're the best mage killer in the Antivan Crows. So how'd the Venatori catch you?
Someone set me up. I had a contract for Colivan, in the ossuary. I took a ship from Treviso to Minrathus. They were waiting for me. Knew which ship and when it would arrive. I don't know how they convinced the Crows I was dead, but I woke up in the ossuary with Zara gloating about it.
I know Katerina volunteered you to work with us. Are you okay with that?
Did Viago ever consult with you before sending you on a contract?
Viago would barely tell me what the job was beforehand, but I'm not the demon of Virantium.
Katerina was First Talon. You don't refuse a contract from the First Talon. Not if you're smart. But there's plenty of reason for me to work with you beyond that, Rook.
Such as?
I owe you a debt, for one. And after a year in that hole, maybe I'm looking forward to stabbing a god or two in the back.
The crossroads can be dicey, but the lighthouse is safe. Oh, and if you see a spirit around called the Caretaker, they're friendly.
After the ossuary, that will be a pleasant change. You haven't asked about Spite.
From what I've seen, I'd say he picked the right name.
He's stronger when I sleep, so I try not to do it much. No one was in the ossuary by choice, not even the demons. We both did what we had to get out of there.
So, if you're an abomination...
I suppose I should get used to that.
But I heard that only mages can get possessed by demons.
I'm skilled with a blade, but I promise you, without Spite, I have the magical talent of a brick. There must be some difference between a demon deceiving their way into a body and being forced into one. Only Zara knows for sure.
I admire you. What you've been through would break most people.
I would not give Zara the satisfaction.
Still, you must be a very courageous man.
A very stubborn one, perhaps, but that's kind of you to say. Leave Spite to me. If he's trapped in this world, he has good reason to fight for it. For now, I must honor our contract. Gods, magic, Politics. Things are going to get very bloody.
I could have daggers in 100 necks by nightfall.
No doubt. But more necks would present themselves tomorrow.
I have other daggers.
Am I interrupting?
You're a crow, and a deriva. You're expected. Forgive Thea. You know how she gets when a contract is delayed.
No one likes letting a contract go stale.
And this one is personal for all of us. Perhaps more than you know.
You want help against the gods. We want Treviso free. We now think they may be the same problem. The occupation has a face. The Antam commander, Keith Lord Butcher Dathrata. But Viago thinks killing him outright is short-sighted.
The Butcher took the city suspiciously fast. Removing him is useless if someone else can repeat that, with the help of gods or something else. We all know assassination is not really about killing. It's about sending a message.
And what message would that be?
The crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free.
Sounds like you think the occupation wasn't just about force.
Cruel as the Butcher is, he didn't break the city with a siege. It was sudden and complete.
Like he had it all mapped. Where to march and what to close off to choke resistance.
He had inside information? Spies?
He had something.
And until we know what it was, killing him isn't the contract.
Butcher Dathrata. What do you know about him?
The Antam army fractured, split among warlords, and he seems to have kept the most traditional discipline. And the rank and file like it. His numbers keep growing, but the Butcher himself is odd.
Odd how?
He gives daily speeches about how the occupation is somehow merciful. And the way he talks, it's familiar. It's like he thinks he belongs here. And I won't have it.
We crows are all the army Antiva has. But it's not like we can field a garrison. Outside support?
The king would say to call on us. The price for being patriots.
The gods care about taking Treviso?
The Butcher wants Treviso. The gods may just want the Antam.
But Antam distrusts magic and outright fear demons. They should be enemies.
Power can turn anyone against their own interests. Their own people.
So we send a message from the crows. What's our first step?
We have a scout named Dareth. He said he was onto something the Butcher was hiding.
He was in the Drown district, so that's a place to start. Find our crow and help with his contract.
Help a fellow crow. Then what?
We break this occupation. We craft the message one step at a time.
And when we finally assassinate the person who leashed Treviso, that death will tell everyone. The crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free. I've noted the location of Dareth and his cousin, Jacobus, in the Drown district. They're always together. Jacobus will be eager to help. Perhaps too eager for one so young.
Can you blame him? We've all lost too much to this occupation.
Hello, Air. How goes the training?
It is good to see you back in the Diamond. Your influence on Viago does not go unnoticed. He might not state it as frankly, but you know as well as I that crows are more aligned than they often appear to outsiders.
Still not open to training me?
There was never a need. In Viago's house, you received the best training available. That training augmented the innate talents you already possessed. I think those talents, more than anything, will serve you in your coming trials.
Who are you currently training?
Fledglings. As you are well aware, they need to know both the means and meaning of assassination. It is difficult. A crow's response to a war is quite different than the response to a contract.
The Demon of Virantium, huh? And they called you that before the demon.
Ah, you don't have that enchanted barbed arrow in your quiver because you think it's pretty.
It is, though. Isn't it? The red
The Antam ordered me out of my house. I don't have anywhere else to go.
You were saying? Ah, you don't have that enchanted barbed arrow in your quiver because you think it's pretty.
It is, though. Isn't it? The red shimmer is the enfeebling magic, and the spike tip is designed to splinter inside the target.
Very nice.
I thought you'd like that. I really hope I don't have to use it, though. Cost me a lot of gold.
That's why you only have the one.
Well, I only need one. Especially from this close.
Not even an army stops the Treviso market.
I've always loved market days. Except for when they're occupied by Antam.
This is where Viago told us to meet with Dareth, the crow investigating the butcher. His cousin Jacobus should be here too. I've heard of them around the diamond. It's just the two of them left.
These are crows. This one is tiny.
He was my cousin.
Please, you have to finish Dareth's contract. It's about the butcher. My cousin was going to spy on the butcher. He told me we'd pick up the contract from a dead drop. But then, someone has to finish this for Dareth. Please.
We will take care of it. Go back to the diamond.
I will, just give me a minute.
That note said Dareth should pick up the contract at the usual place across from Tay and Viago. Just follow the marks. The crow who dropped it off left marks for Dareth to follow.
I saw something like that on a wall we passed earlier.
Let's go look. That's a crow marker. Real tricky to throw. That's gotta be Dareth's trail. Keep an eye out.
What gives him the right?
Another mark, this way. Here's another crow mark.
Thea told me you were fearless. Threatening the demon of Virantium to his face certainly proves it.
You know, it's actually the opposite. I'm afraid of what you are.
I'm brutally honest. She didn't mention that part.
I've seen demons. I know how they can corrupt. I know it won't even be your fault if it happens. But I won't let someone else turn on my friends. No matter how scared I am.
Good. Keep your bow close.
Our next crow mark. Another mark. This is where the marks lead. Dareth's contract must be here somewhere. The butcher is making poison. Comic.
The poison that destroys your mind? That comic?
If I were the butcher, it'd be a good way to keep people in line.
We cannot let the butcher unleash this on Treviso.
He won't. The Anton brought in a comic master to mix the poison. He's at the garrison. We stop him there before this goes any further.
You cannot help but flinch whenever I use my skills. You think, this time he's definitely gone full demon.
It's not personal.
If you're watching me in battle, you leave yourself open to our actual enemies.
The power of the demon-possessed assassin should make up for how twitchy everyone else gets, right?
Treviso, that is true. We respect the fight and the pride. I can smell you, an outsider. Time to test my gift.
Wait, this note says that wasn't all the comic. The Butcher's angry because someone missing.
What? Who stole it?
No idea, but the note does mention the Butcher's inside trader. The occupation had help. Tay and Viago need to know they were right.
Are you out of your minds?
Someone had to act.
They most certainly did not. I told you crows to stay out of this.
Out of what? Defending our home?
If we had a stronger civil government instead of a bunch of circus criminals, the Antam wouldn't have a foothold in the first place.
You're responsible for the city?
This is Governor Evenchi. They have concerns.
My concern is how you've endangered the city.
We're defending Antiva.
These protections are in place for the good of everyone. You act without oversight.
We crows are the oversight.
And yet, here we are, awash in Antam. And now, you've angered the Butcher.
We have other enemies too. The gods are involved, corrupting some Antam, making them monsters.
And the Butcher?
You two were right. He had help taking the city. Human traitors.
I didn't want to believe it. Killing the Butcher does nothing if someone could just sell us out again.
I'd start right here. You Talons are known for infighting and betrayal.
I've had about enough. A fellow crow died for this contract.
That's enough. Rook, thank you for finishing that contract. The only reward we have is to ask you for more.
It's my home too.
Evenchi is right about one thing. The Butcher will not like that we're fighting back.
We need to be ready. Rook, I will have every crow tracking this traitor and the gods, and we will send word when we find something.
The stakes are too high. This should be left to proper officials.
Go back to filing trade receipts, Evenchi. The crows rule Antiva.
And Treviso will be free. With or without you, Governor.
Rook, Ilario sent word. He's got intel on Zara. He wants to meet up. Fancy a trip to Treviso?
Sounds like fun.
Come on. Ilario will meet us at Cafe Pietra. It's not that far from here. We have time before he arrives. I wouldn't mind looking around a while. The markets are running. Good. I need to get some things while we're here. Treviso. I barely had time to look around when we returned from the ossuary.
This place, does it feel very different?
In some ways, more than I expected. But then, perhaps it's me. Ah, here.
A potted plant?
For Harding's garden. Spearmint is supposed to calm bad dreams. It's good in desserts, too.
So, you and Ilario are cousins?
Yes, but we're more like brothers. Katarina took us both in, a long time ago now. Here's the place. Bellara mentioned the dayless seafood recipe she wants to make.
The demon of Virantium is grocery shopping for the team?
Have you seen what they eat? It's a miracle you didn't all starve before you hired me.
When we met, it didn't seem like Ilario and Katarina were close.
It was hard to be close to her, even for me. And I was her favorite. A good selection. Fresh fruit. Nev only eats fried fish. You'd think a detective would have discovered scurvy by now.
Is that everything on the list?
Yes, and Ilario should be here by now. Let's go before he gets himself in trouble.
You can't buy something for everyone but yourself. Here, this is for you.
A wyvern-toothed dagger? I loved wyverns as a boy. Katarina would never let me have one of these, though.
See you again soon.
Cafe Pietra's just ahead.
That's where we're meeting your cousin? Why not the casino?
House Cantori has many talents. Making coffee is not one of them.
Finally. I thought you might leave me here all by my lonesome.
Please. You think I'd ever pass up Cafe Pietra's coffee?
You see, Rook, my cousin is all stomach and no heart.
Don't mind him. Ilario cannot appreciate anything but himself. They serve a specialty roast here, Andoral's breath. Bitter and sweet, like a kiss goodbye. You should try it.
Right. I know we came here for coffee, but I prefer tea.
Ugh.
So, have we done enough three crows in a coffee shop chatting about nothing to bore the spies?
Just about. The most persistent one gave up when Lucanis started getting all romantic about the roasts.
It's a very good roast. So, you have something?
The crows I sent after Sarah have picked up her trail. They say she's gone to Virantium.
I have a friend who's very good at finding people.
Katerina was first Talon. This is crow business. We can handle it.
Apparently not. Your lead is no good, cousin.
You have better information?
We're compromised. There's no other way Zara could even touch Katerina. You need your eyes here, in Antiva.
Sarah would never be foolish enough to stay. Not with you out for blood.
Of course she would. If the crows protecting her are here.
Rook, reason with him, would you? He's being paranoid.
I am not paranoid. She came after me. She came after Katerina. She will come for you too.
If it'll make you feel better, I'll clean house, all right? Leave it to me.
He's gone.
Of course he is. Ilario always caves under pressure.
Zara's not going to get Ilario, and she's not getting away with anything she's done. I promise.
Don't promise. But thank you.
Bitter and sweet. You called that blend. Like a kiss goodbye. So, what would a first kiss be?
Honey and lavender cream. Sweet. Intriguing. And you? How would you describe it?
First kisses? It's been a while. I might need a refresher.
I see. You lead an adventurous life.
No more than you, I'm guessing.
I've always thought that to live truly is to live fully. But even before I was captured, my life was not really my own. So much had been determined for me.
Life's too short to be defined by other people.
If I'd had that advice sooner...
Once I broke out of defining myself as a woman or a man, I was free to pursue what really mattered to me.
What really matters to me? Perhaps it's closer than I thought. How's your tea?
An inviting start with hidden depths. Ready to head back to the lighthouse?
Almost. Rook, do you have a minute?
Of course. Something wrong?
Thea wants to meet.
Any day you spend with the 7th Talon is a good day.
She wants to plan Katerina's funeral.
Oh, right.
If you don't mind, I could use some backup. In case Spite gets out of hand.
Let's not keep Thea waiting.
Jacobus, how is he?
It is good Rook found Dareth's contract. Eyre says Jacobus is comforted to know his cousin's death was not in vain.
Work might help focus him, but until he can control that temper, I cannot approve Jacobus as a full-fledged crow.
I feel as you do. We worry about Jacobus. His future seems so dark.
We're crows. There's comfort in the dark.
Jacobus is not yet a crow.
But he's not alone. It can be hard to remember that, however.
Jacobus has potential. You see it, don't you, Viago?
Like I saw in certain other fledglings. And as with them, that can end very good or very bad.
Not all things end with clarity, as you and I both know.
Fine. Endings are fuzzy. Starts are shocking. Middles are worth lingering.
Good, you're here.
Thank you for making the arrangements, Thea.
For Katerina? How could I do otherwise? I'm so sorry, Lucanis. This must be such a blow. Rook, thank you for coming with him. I need Juan de la Muerte to plan this. His cousin has been no help at all.
I'm sorry, Thea. This is just too much right now.
If there's anything I can do, just say the word.
You're always such a dear. You certainly didn't learn that from Viago.
Thea, don't flirt with my colleague.
Jealous? Fine. To business, then. There's a lot to plan. But first, I need the ashes.
Ashes?
Make it help us. Yes, the ashes. Katerina's ashes. From the cremation?
Oh, yes. Of course. I'll get them to you right away.
Ilario, what happened?
What do you mean?
Katerina, how? How did the Venatori get to her? When? Where? In the estate? In the city? How did they get past our people? What did they use? Poison? Blades? I need to know.
Cousin, stop. You can't dwell on this. It'll drive you mad.
I'm not dwelling. Zara killed the first Talon. I have to know how if I'm going to stop her.
I told you. I'm handling it.
Boys, enough of this. We have other things to discuss.
My apologies, Andrea. Continue without me. I'll get you the ashes.
Something's going on with him. I don't know what.
When he's not on the job, my cousin always has his head in the clouds.
Hilario can be a handful. But this? The only time I've seen him like this was when Lucanis died. You're worrying, aren't you? What will people say if they hear the demon of Virantium has a big, soft heart?
He's been careless at times, but never when his own life was on the line. Zara took down the first Talon. Anyone could be next. And my cousin doesn't want to think about it?
You have a point. It's not like Hilario to ignore a knife coming at him.
What do you need from me for the funeral?
Come. I'll get us some drinks, and we can make the arrangements.
Our house owes you for handling all of this.
Katerina was family. Can you imagine what she'd say if she saw us all like this?
She'd be furious, especially at Ilario, as usual.
She was a smart lady.
She was the best. Of all the Talons, Katerina was the sharpest.
Which makes it even harder to believe this could happen. Nobody could catch her unaware. And now Ilario's got his head in the clouds.
I'll have my people keep an eye on him for you.
Thank you, Thea.
Go on. I'll let you know if something comes up.
The Cantori Diamond is your casino. The occupation hasn't closed your business?
Business may be down, but it isn't my casino to close.
An easy mistake to make. Isn't that right, Andaratea Cantori?
I am no landlord, and anyone who treats me as such shall be evicted.
So you two are both Talons. Doesn't that make you rivals?
Rank in one area is rarely applicable to others. Which is to say, only a fool would try to impose rank on Thea.
Wise words from a sometimes fool.
A history I would wish on no one else, lest they take it from me.